So are you riding home?
For sure, yep.
I think do you need any cards?
One.
Alright. I'll take a few. Hey, wait a minute. I can't really see anything with these.
Yeah, you could be robbing me blind and I would know no better.
I already lost my shirt to you last week. Yeah, this is not going to work. These cards, it's just not going to work. All right, lay them down. Let's see what you got. Alright, I beat you. I got 3 9s right here.
No way, that does not say 9.
Yeah, that's a 9 right there.
That is not a 9.
And you're claiming you have 3 jacks. That's not a jack right there.
That's a jack. The J's right there.
You can't see. What's wrong with you? I beat you.
Gentlemen, please, no fighting on the warship. Is this happened to you while you're waiting for standing your topside watch at night where you can't see the faces of the cards? Well, we here at USS Cod Submarine Memorial have the answer for you right now. And if you order now, we're gonna, well, never mind. We're actually going to talk today about a unique little feature of World War II submarines, the Lookout playing card sets issued to submarines in World War II. Guys, scoop that stuff up. You're all losers. Put it away. We'll show you what we're going to do in a moment.
Hey, I'm going to show you to the captain. You're not allowed to shoot infomercials on here.
He owes me $20. He lost a whole 2 games in poker. So how much did you take Ben for?
$50.
All right, 25 of that is mine. So in World War II, the issue of lookouts being able to read their cards was somewhat of a problem. This is a great photo. We'll do an insert here. But here's the topside watch, obviously waiting to go relieve the watch topside, and obviously at night, so they're wearing the dark adaptation goggles, and they're playing cards. In fact, right here at this table, not aboard Cod, but another boat. So during the war, the good people at Electric Boat Company, the builders of Cod, and I think the very best of the fleet subs, you know, Manitowoc, also good boats. Those Portsmouth boats, pieces of crap. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about. Yeah, right. Well, anyway, Electric Boat created special satin finish playing cards, and here's a picture of those. They printed cards with the red suits outlined in black. Here's a picture of the Jack of Diamonds. Again, you see the red suits are outlined in black, so you can see that with the goggles on. And
how well can you see it with the goggles on?
You're not cheating me, I'll tell you that much. But you know, if you had the white lights off and you had, let's say, red lights on and the red goggles, yeah, no way are you going to see anything red.
Okay, here's a typical modern-day playing card, 10 of diamonds on the left, and the World War II lookout cards for dark adaptation lighting use on the right. All right, Evan, kill the white light. And what happened? Yeah, pretty dramatic.
And they also duplicated with a black J for Jack, and here's some numerical cards, all the red diamonds. Again, we'll do an insert on that.
Now, this was a novelty. The good folks at Electric Boat understood that this wasn't going to win them the war against Japan, right?
Good point. I was just going to say, it probably was done, I think, for morale, and maybe perhaps they were looking ahead in the post-war era where they might not be able to build a whole lot of submarines, and if they created the most collectible of collection pieces, these dark adaptation playing cards, they would probably have a good income on the side. So tell me about these cards. We've known about these for decades, but why can't we just go out and buy them?
They are very rare. And what's interesting about this is I actually think the case that these cards are in, there's 2 decks of playing cards in here. The case that's holding them, I believe, just based on research, is more rare than the cards themselves. These particular cards actually belong to an ex-Cunard captain who served in the British submarine service in the 1930s, and in the 1940s he was on anti-U-boat patrols in the North Atlantic.
So at some point, a Brit gets a hold of a pair of a set of American lookouts. Interesting. Now, this is this beautiful kind of red flocking cardboard case, and it is marked on the back the printing company, and I think there's a patent pending, Brown and Bigelow, St. Paul, Minnesota. Well, Brown and Bigelow, I believe, might still be around, but I got to point out one thing. There were single decks, and here is, again, we'll do a close-up of that. Here is the single deck card, so it's your typical box like this, but it's got some typical Electric Boat commissioned art of one of their subs firing. Obviously, it's a very early or maybe even a pre-war fleet boat firing a torpedo. These prints were made available to submariners as art prints as well during the war. So this is the Deluxe II deck, and I don't know, how good are you at cards? Could this be a pinochle deck, maybe?
I'm not very good at cards. It could be.
Yeah, if any of you are card aficionados out there, please clarify for us. Would a 2-deck set be used for pinochle or maybe cribbage, as opposed to a single poker deck?
Now, the one thing I do want to say, we have a picture, and I will insert this in here.
Yeah, by the way, I get introduced. This is Evan. Now, he's on the video. We made sure that the bruises that he's had been inflicted with cleared up a little bit, although there may be some more abuse later. So, yeah, this is Evan, our curator.
There's some bruises on my legs that are also covered up.
Okay, and behind the camera is our other curator, Ben, so he's keeping it very steady. Good job, Ben. So you were saying?
On COD's 7th War Patrol, we have a photograph of our captain and a few officers playing, presumably maybe poker.
Oh, that was definitely a poker game. Yeah, Chuck Podorian made that very clear. Told me the whole skinny about poker. You know, the COD was a real He-Man fighting sub, but the wardroom pretty well much sucked at poker. So if he wanted to make some extra bucks playing poker with those guys, in fact, in the picture he's got a big pile of chips, but it's probably daylight.
Yeah.
And they're not wearing dark adaptation, so it's all done in daylight.
And based on what we could see, the card deck they're playing with is a standard card deck.
Standard card deck. Okay, so tell us. Now, I'll say this much: we do have one of these decks. In fact, this is a picture of the very first deck we got, and this was probably 30 years ago when. Well, could be 30 years ago because it was right at the dawn of eBay.
So it was 2,000 years ago, not 30.
Yeah. I'm an old man. So about 2005, we want a deck of these, but on eBay they're going for several hundred, maybe $300 for a complete set or deck of cards. And people were even selling individual cards for $10-15. And that was not in our budget, but we don't know who, but an anonymous benefactor acquired a deck of cards and donated them to us. So that's how we get this first single deck of cards. And they were, and still are, locked up in a vault below the biggest, most secure bank in the city of Cleveland with a code so secure even I forgot it. So
it's the code 1945.
Damn it! I mean, excuse me. Who told you this? All right. Well, anyway, we better change that code, Ben. How about 0000? Nobody will know that. They'll never guess that one. But anyway, we don't like moving those out and showing them around too much because there was only one deck. But then you, as curator, tell us that story. What happened?
Oh, I just checked British eBay and I discovered this set right here 2 decks of cards plus the box, and
The very rare box.
a very beautiful Electric Boat Co. Logo on the front.
yeah.
EBCO, very attractive.
Uh-huh.
For, I want to say maybe 50 pounds, which at the time was about 75 American dollars. So I pretty much bought it immediately.
And I patted you on the head, and we got these. So, yes, that is a pretty neat little thing.
The one thing I will add about this is I have found very few written references of these cards from submariners. One of the written references I found is the author of Submarine Commander, Paul R. Schratz. He was a member of the first Shark crew, first Scorpion crew, and he fortunately survived the war. He said that these cards really only sort of helped. He said it was still quite difficult if you were wearing the goggles to see them. So that was just one viewpoint. I haven't been able to locate any other accounts from World War II submariners about these particular cards.
Okay, so Ben, come on over here, shoot over my shoulder. We're going to do some comparisons here. So here is the 10 of Hearts from the World War II deck, and here's a common modern one, and it is they're a little smaller, probably to save a little paper. They are both wax coated, which is good, and there is that great picture of a fleet boat firing a torpedo. This thing has been reproduced everywhere. In fact, I think it was utilized as the World War II Subvets logo. But yeah, they're a little smaller, and I do notice that that of the 2 decks, one is outlined in red, one is outlined in green.
Hold on, get a close-up of this. The Ace is very attractive. It has a very cool logo
It's upside down.
as well as the Joker.
Some very beautiful Art Deco kind of inspired Joker and
So some
Ace.
thought was put into this, at least it seems in the design.
Yeah. Now, we have looked into reproducing these years ago when enough of the World War II guys were still around. But then we got kind of sidetracked restoring the submarine, priorities. But, we're actually considering maybe reprinting these cards today to raise money for the continuing restoration of submarine cod. So comment, tell us if you'd be interested in acquiring a reproduction deck of submarine lookout cards that would support restoration of submarine cod.
And as Paul always says, I get to say it this time
You
after
say it
any
now.
videos, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll be back with more, and I'm going to get my money from Ben that I just won. Remember, 50-50, right? You won half.
All right, we'll take him to the cleaners. Thanks.
Thanks.